What's up, y'all? We back with another lit conversation. I'll be right back.
Beef ain't shit but a fucking hair flip. Run up on you hoes with a fully loaded clip. Back up, pussy nigga, you don't really want it. Block, block, my click, will really do it. Got a dread right style that's really about it. Run, run, tree, stated what you know about it. This pussy out, better come quick, bust, bust like a gun when you suck my click. Make my body shiver when me get that dick. Drill me down like a drill sergeant. Fuck being in love, you don't know about it. One crazy baby, you can't handle it. And I don't keep friends with a rat squad bitch. Too much pressure, them can't take it. I'm too high for my dollar baby shit, bitch. I'm too high for my dollar baby shit. Hoes don't like me, I flip my hair. Reach out and touch, don't take it.
We back. Another lit conversations. Thank y'all for joining, especially our special guest tonight, Quan. He'll be joining us at 7. I'm rocking out to the tunes of Miss Crystal. Y'all go check for her. While I got y'all waiting, we're going to be enjoying some Mami Wata CMOS tonight. This is our sponsor for tonight. Mami Wata CMOS. Y'all can check her out. She ships. Call her 864-448-4749. Get you some CMOS in your life. Check out our website, MamiWaterCMOS.com. Cinnamon CMOS. Look at that. Nice packaging, everything. Y'all enjoy this music. We here. If you want your music on Lit Conversation, DM me at Addiction to Hip Hop. See it on the shirt. Again, if you want your music promoted to the thousands, DM me. Get your music on Lit Conversations. Like I said, shout out to Miss Crystal. She got me jamming tonight. Y'all go check her out at Real Miss Crystal, Instagram. Dope artist. If you want to get your music played, just tap in. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. We just jamming out right now. Quan just let me know he's outside right now. He's getting to where he be quiet so he can tap in. We're a little early though. But while we are early, this is the perfect time to let you guys know. Y'all gotta cop the CMOS. Look at the beautiful packaging. Mami Wata CMOS. I use it personally. It helps me. Tonight's sponsor for the show is Mami Wata CMOS. If y'all want to cop this CMOS, y'all need to call this number, 864-448-4749. She ships worldwide, or you can go to the website, Mami Wata's CMOS. Look at this. Get a good shot of that. Packaging. It's a lot that come in here.
Trying not to be anxious, burning a hole in the flow pacing. Said you want you with my heart racing. Thighs burning with
We're a little early right now.
Come to seeing you, I hate waiting. Feels like my whole body ache.
I'm doing well.
Need to calm down.
See somebody to check in. Fayyad 1234. Addiction to Hip Hop. You're listening to the tunes of Miss Cristal. Y'all need to. She working on the next project. It's hot. We're gonna jam out until our special guest Quan. Shout out to all my followers. I appreciate all of you. Addiction to Hip Hop book is coming soon. Trust me, it's going to be worth the wait. We're putting a lot of thought and effort into this. Shout out to Eric S. Gray.
Purchase your tracks today.
You deserve an encore. That performance got me on the floor.
Y'all need to get some of that CMOS in your life.
Got me about to chase you to the door.
Read a good book.
Swear I'm like your little whore.
In the morning.
My whole entire body sore.
Wake up.
Baby,
take you some CMOS. Guys, ladies. This contains all of the nutritious ingredients your body needs daily. So, I don't know how it feels, but I know how it tastes. The taste is exquisite. Cinnamon, CMOS, all natural. This is plant-based CMOS. Locally, South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg. Tap in. Call this number 864-448-4749. Get you some CMOS. And I want to thank, again, Miami Water CMOS for sponsoring tonight's event. Yes, CMOS. You know about it. We jamming out to Miss Cristal. We got a few minutes. I'm early. I didn't want to have any discrepancies like last time. Here he is. I see you, Quan. Send me a request. Here we go.
Yo, what's the word?
What's going on? This is the legend. Man. Thank you for joining my Lit Conversation show. I appreciate you taking the time to come out and jump on. and let the world know about Quan. I know about you,
It's
but I
all
want to
good.
introduce you to my followers.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
it's going to be a wild conversation. Tonight, sponsored by CMOS, Miami Water CMOS. I don't know if you're familiar with the CMOS, but I know you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah. I'm
You already know.
I'm gradually getting hip to it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we have a local plant-based owner down here that makes the Mama Wata CMOS. But hey, let's go. Let's get into it. Quan, thank you for joining me. Let my viewers know pretty much who is Quan, the legend. I know you as a legend, and this
I'm,
show is this show is for the platform to uh, uplift my brothers that's doing great things, and also just spreading the fan base and spreading the love and giving you your flowers while you're here, brother.
yeah, I
And I'm a
appreciate
true
that, man.
fan of
Thank you.
yours.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, for those
So,
who don't
Quan,
know,
where you from?
I'm from Harlem. I'm originally from Harlem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read something where you was working out in New Jersey for a little bit.
Nah, I moved to New Jersey. I was work- you probably what you probably read was when I was working in California.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was a
But
whole different experience.
yeah, but so how a little bit about how I know you publish a lot of books. We're gonna go through all of that,
Okay.
but I so let's take it back. When did you really start, taking this writing thing seriously?
Probably about 2003, 2004 when my third book came out. Because the first two was just like whatever. And around the time
Yeah,
the third book came out, and that and I really started to see the impact and what was going on. That's when I said, all
yeah.
right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So when did you get your first publishing deal? Was that on the third book?
Nah, that was my first book, Gangster, in
Oh, okay.
2002, 2002 with Triple Crown. I was the very first author to ever come out of the Triple Crown camp.
Right, right. Okay, okay. So who inspired you to write? Like
My
coming from
mother,
Harlem is a bunch of drug dealers.
nah, my mother, she was the writer. She never got a chance to
Okay.
recognize her dream, so I kind of just picked up the torch when she passed. But
Right,
the stories are definitely inspired by, just everyday things we see when we look out our window.
right. And I don't even know if you remember, but you remember the Nubian Heritage
Yes,
bookstore back in
yes,
the day? So
yes.
I'm from South Jamaica, Queens.
Oh,
And
okay.
I founded All Access DVD magazine. I know you're probably familiar with that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Coming up in the ground. All Access DVD, and then later on other DVDs came along.
Okay,
So I
okay.
was part of that original um, franchise. We coined the phrase DVD magazine. So when I was on the grind, I was really inspired by you and another author. His name is Eric S. Gray,
Yeah, that's my
and
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna surprise you with something in a minute. But how everything comes full circle. I'm from Queens, you from Harlem, and just how was it in the '90s, like being a writer in the early 2000s, when everybody was doing music? Like, how did you create that lane?
It happened really organically. Like I said, I had no
Uh-huh.
aspirations to be a writer. I wasn't like, I'm gonna write books. It was just something that happened. One day I sat down and I started penning this story, and it's like when you turn on a faucet, but you can't turn it off.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and it just kind of my love for it just kind of grew and manifested from there. Like I said, it was just very organic. It wasn't something that I planned. It wasn't something that I
yeah.
studied in school. None of that. It was just totally left field.
So, kind of walk me through like the challenges that you face in the book game.
Well, originally it was a thing where it was only maybe four other people writing in the genre, because like it
Okay.
started with, of course, Donald Goines and those guys, but nobody
Yeah,
had seen anything like it in 30 years. And then you had The Coldest Winter Ever, you had Troops of the Game, Be More Careful, Let There
yeah,
Be
yeah. True to
Reason,
the game.
and Gangster. So the
Yeah.
biggest obstacle that I kept running into is, first of all, I didn't know how to submit a query to a publisher. That was just ratchet in itself. And the few little letters that I did manage to sneak through, the response
Yeah.
that I was getting is like, there's no market for this genre. There's
Right.
no
Right.
market. So
So
it
how
was
did
like,
you create that market? Because like I had similar experience with a DVD magazine when I used to go to the mom and pop
right,
stores. They used to say, "Well, what's this a magazine about a DVD?" And they
exactly,
used to laugh. I
exactly,
said, "Yeah."
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
So
So it was like people were like, "Yo, this is like," they were looking at me like a Martian. And you also have to
yeah.
understand something that I was doing different. In those first books, the ones that I named, The Truth to the Game, The Coldest Winter Ever, in all those books, the protagonists, the main characters were women.
Hmm.
And basically the stories were centered around, girl meets boy, drug dealer, not to ever discredit or take anything away from them. I came writing about Bloods and Crips. I was writing for the killers, like
Yeah.
these two dudes, these two LA dudes. So it was different, but it's
Yeah.
because it was still fresh with me because I had just not too long moved back from California. So
Right. Right.
I was in like I didn't have a lane. Like my lane was my lane. Like I was just doing what I did, and
Yeah.
so I kind of had to create the space for myself.
Gotcha. Now, so addiction to hip hop is me and Eric Gray is working on a project, urban love story,
Mm.
and urban fiction love story, and we kind of combine hip hop with the urban book industry.
Mm.
So how has hip hop inspired your talents and
Well,
your book writing? How did
well,
it influence?
the things that we write are very similar to the music that we grew up on. Like I came up on like Wu Tang, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
cats like that. So it actually in the beginning they were calling it hip hop fiction
Oh,
because
okay.
you had these young dudes like me speaking personally, like I'm walking around with my Dickies on, my Timbs, my fitted hat, and so I
You
did not
still
fit
had
the
that Cali swag too.
yeah no, but I'm a New Yorker, so I didn't
Yeah,
fit
yeah,
the
yeah.
mold. I didn't fit the mold of a writer or what people would say
Right.
as a writer. So now I remember we were at this meeting and the vice president he kept looking at me. I had on a Dickie suit and some Chuck Taylors, and he just kept
Yeah.
looking at me from across the table, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? And he was like, nah, like you're it. And I said, yo, what's it? And he was like, well, we're creating this space called hip hop fiction, and this is how we're gonna
Yeah.
market you guys as books. And he's like, you are the poster boy for, and I'm like, I'm just me. This is just how I dress regularly. So I
Right.
think like it's kind of like with the music. The music was influenced by our environments. It's the same thing with the books.
Yeah. So I know you said your first three books. When I was looking, it said I think it was your third book that became the number, or was it number three or number
Gangster.
one
No, that was
essence?
my first book. Gangster was number 3. Hood Rat was number
Right.
1. Gutter was number 1.
So how do you get to that level straight out the gate? Like, is it like a certain amount of books sold, or it was
Yeah.
just that good that people
No, with those
like?
lists, when with the list, let me just say this: I had sold like 100,000 books on the street before I even got with a major. So
Yeah,
with the books and as far as those lists, it go by like reporting stores, like stores
right.
that report to these magazines. Like, okay, we'll turn in your numbers. Let's see what each book did, and that's how they
Yeah, like
determine.
SoundScan, like in the
Right,
like the DVD and the CD market we had SoundScan.
right. And we have
Yeah.
book scan with the books. Right.
Okay.
So it
Cool.
was like turning your numbers, and that's how they determine.
Gotcha. So, like, did that like elevate your once you achieved that great achievement? Did it put you like in another bracket when it came to
Absolutely.
getting projects? Like, what type of doors that opened up for you?
I think it opened up. Well, I think it opened up a lot of doors because it made more people aware of me. Like everybody in
Right.
every hood, like in Philadelphia, Virginia, these different places in the hood, they knew who I was because we were
Yeah. Yeah.
selling the books in the hood. Like I didn't get into Barnes and Noble until I think a year after the first release. So in the hood,
Okay.
but when you start hitting those lists,
Yeah.
opens up a broader scope, especially for the people who read the magazine.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I used to go to Nubia Heritage on 125th. I used to get your
Mhm.
books up there,
From the vendors,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and what's so crazy is like I've been doing a little research since working on addiction and hip hop, and like in prison just alone,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a huge market.
yeah.
And I think like 50 Cent kind of tapped into that market. Like with his books, there's some books that we don't even know about that they go straight to the prisons that he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
out.
yeah. And what ended up, well, I don't know about that. I can't speak on his situation.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we are huge in the prisons. But what they started
yeah.
doing with my books and a few other authors' books, they started banning them from the prisons. So,
Oh, okay.
and I got a letter. I got a letter from the prison. Because somebody had ordered some books or whatever, and they couldn't get into it, so they sent me a letter like, "Yo, you promote gang propaganda. Your books ain't no good."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, "How
That's
am I promoting
crazy.
gang propaganda?" Because I'm telling the story. Like, this is what's going on out here. This is how we live. Like, for a lot of those dudes, this is the only way they could touch home is in these books. Some of these dudes got a lot of
Right,
years. So, but that's just one,
right,
but they, that's just to keep us dumb. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because people were
right,
reading. Dudes who were not previously reading were now picking up books. And what's more dangerous than a black man with a book?
right.
You feel
Exactly.
me?
Someone's educated. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I'm gonna jump back into hip hop. So I saw something where I believe you did a documentary for Iceberg Slim,
Right.
or something. And how did that work? How did that come about?
Um, there was Ice T and George and Rosa were putting together this
Yeah,
documentary on Iceberg Slim. And when you speak about the vets and you know what I'm saying, the old timers, the youngest come up. And so
right.
I forgot how they got a hold of me. And they were like, "Yeah, everybody we talked to says that we need to speak to you about this documentary." And so I just
Yeah,
gave them my take, and I ended up, and they basically like how I presented myself. So my smaller role grew into a bigger role, and the same thing happened with the television show with Celebrity Crime Files. Is these growth
right,
because for me it's organic. I'm just speaking facts on what I know because I studied
right,
the great ones who came before me.
right. Now I know you had made some TV cameos, right? On
Hmm.
like TV1 or some of your
Yeah.
work that's been
No, no,
in
that was
that.
me. That was me. I was
Yeah,
one of the dudes. You know how they have like the those crime shows, and you got the dude that's
yeah,
narrating and
yeah,
telling the story. So I did like 2 seasons of that. We did Magnolia Shorty. We did Donald Goins. We did
yeah.
okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I got a phone call.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Um, um. So I'm gonna show you something and let me know what era this was and where you was at in your career when you worked on this project right here. You remember
Oh,
this?
Streets of New York. I did the forward for that. I don't actually have the story in the book.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was already major. Like I had already transitioned to it. But those are my guys, like Eric and those guys. So you know, it was nothing for me to add my little 2 cents to the project, whatever hell, for the good of the team.
yeah, yeah. He is my mentor in this
He's
book
a he's
game.
a he's a good dude,
He
man.
Yeah, he's showing me the ropes with in the book game. So you've been so how many books in total? Because I like your right to eat. I
Hmm.
like your hashtag right to eat because it's like this is what you do full
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
correct?
It was tattooed on my hand before it was a hashtag because that's
Yeah,
if I don't write, I don't eat. So I write to eat.
yeah. Man. That's a good way to look at it, though.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. So, is there any like movies that you wrote for, or screen plays, or anything like that, or that
Yeah.
someone
I got a
turned?
bunch of scripts. I just did like a little teaser for this television show that I'm working on. Um,
Yeah.
and I got a movie. It's like an 18-minute short film on YouTube called Love and Gunplay.
Okay.
So I wrote that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. What's your YouTube? What's your new YouTube page for that?
Kawan 141.
Okay.
It ain't
Yeah,
no,
I'm gonna
no,
check that out.
was it Kawan Rice? I gotta look. I just changed it. I don't know if it was still that, but I'll make sure I shoot it to you. I'll send you the link.
All right, bet. And let me ask you, Eric Jerome Dickey. Did you ever meet him and what he
Never
meant
had
to you?
never had a chance to meet him, but he was such an inspiration to me, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
Because like at the time, before I was Kawan the writer, and I was just Kawan trying to find his way in the world. We come from
yeah,
poverty, we come from hard circumstances. So
right,
in the pages of his books, I would read about these upwardly mobile black folks. You know what I'm saying? And I would kind of envision
Right.
myself in that world, like, damn, it must be nice. Like, you and all your homeboys got the 401k, I got nice houses, good girls, that comes with the drama. But it was such a
Yeah.
different lifestyle. And I said, you know what? That's the lifestyle that I want to carve out and want to create for myself. The lifestyle of an upperly mobile, you know what I'm saying, individual. And
Right.
so, like, and I never got a chance to give him his flowers. Him and Walter Mosley,
Right.
like, it inspired me greatly. And I got to give Walter Mosley his flowers, but I never got a chance
Right.
to have a conversation with Eric Jerome Dickey and just tell him from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for inspiring me to be great.
Right. And that's why I carved out this lit conversations, because you guys, like, to me, I'm telling you right now, you are a major inspiration to me and to the game that I'm
Appreciate it,
trying to
man.
get into. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you your flowers while you're here. And you, Eric Gray, and y'all
Mm-hmm.
dudes is just influencing me. Like, when I was on the grind, I saw you guys out there too. And
Yeah,
it
out there
just,
hustling.
yeah, yeah, especially in Harlem. Like I said, I
Yeah.
was doing the same thing in Queens, going up to 125th,
hmm
putting my DVDs in the stores and grinding it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get
To
that
me,
grind. This was, because this was before everything went digital. So we had to
right,
be out. We had to be in the street to reach the people.
right,
We had to, because it wasn't no press a button and everybody knows. Now we had to go. Like, if I wanted to reach my readers in Philadelphia, I would have to go to Philadelphia, and I would have to hustle, and I would have to
right,
do signings. If I wanted to, the same thing
right,
with every city and state that I went to.
right. Nah, that's what's up. But, I'm gonna name a name: Zodiac Fish Grease. Got to be your dude up there in Harlem.
Nah, I don't know. Nah,
Yeah, he
Zodiac.
he 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 doing he doing his thing as well.
What does he
He
do? Is
ran
he a
it.
writer?
He's like a promoter.
Oh, okay. Nah, I'm
He's a
not familiar.
promoter out there in Harlem. But at the time, I forgot the lady name that was on Reasonable Doubt. She used to have the joint, the open mics on 125th Street. Forgot her name. God. Um, he used to help her promote.
What's
She
that?
was on Reasonable Doubt. I
I know
forgot.
you. I know you talking about the two on the 22, 222,
222. Yeah, the
Yeah,
lady.
yeah.
I forgot her name. I forgot her name. But yeah, he was out there with her promoting.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta look. I just
Yeah.
wasn't
So,
familiar.
yeah, but tell me about your new project.
Well, I just released Black Lotus 2. That
Right,
was in,
Black
well, not
Lotus
just,
too.
that was in November. Like, and I always tell people I like to write with both hands. I'm an ambidextrous writer. So with
Okay.
with
What
the
you gotta explain that. You gotta break that
yeah.
down.
So with the, like, books like Animal and Gangster, I'm gonna give you that gutter. I'm gonna give you that bang. I'm gonna give you that
Yeah,
Quan. I'm gonna make you wanna go out and get a 40. But with the Black Lotus novels, they lean more towards espionage,
yeah,
secret societies, the old kung fu flicks, and that's why all of the characters wear masks. It's like a nod to the Five Deadly Venoms. So
right.
different,
So
like,
do you believe in that secret society? You think it's
absolutely,
something to that?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
put I put something in the book and got a phone call from a very good friend of mine who was a trusted source and told me, nephew, you can't write about that.
Mm.
Somebody gonna knock on
Yeah,
your door. Somebody gonna knock on your door one night and say you did something. You're gonna disappear. You watch
right.
yourself. And I was like, holy shit, I'm on to something.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's like, but to me, it's kind of like, you like sort of like you can't step on too many toes. Like
hmm
going to different neighborhoods and just popping up and that sort of thing.
Yeah, 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 exactly. That's how it was for me in Cali. Like, you had to learn them color lines. So it's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
So it's the same thing with content. The things that you speak, the things that you write, the things that you manifest.
yeah,
Sometimes you hold. Look at Fred Hampton.
yeah. That's real. Nah, that's real. So how has the like and music? I keep going to music because I've been in the music game for a minute. Like when people do series, it don't really sell in music. Like
Mm.
uh, they did like certain stores didn't want series.
Right.
And did you experience any of that in your
Actually,
in your
it was
time?
it was quite the opposite. That seems to be like the only thing that a lot of the readers and the publishers want are series. Like me, I just write what I feel like writing. And for like the
Yeah,
first 4 or 5 years, I never wrote a sequel
yeah,
to none of my books. I was just one and done. So
Yeah.
the series, like I approach series. I don't approach a project and say, okay, I'm gonna write a series because that's not how I do. Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
but for the most part, if I feel like there's too much to go in one story, or there's something that sticks out to me in this story that can create another story, then that's how I do.
Right.
That's how Animal was born, and Animal was like one of my most popular character ever.
Yeah. Yep. Like nowadays, I'm hearing some whispers about like it's no longer about like the chapters. Like publishing companies want to know how many words they want to
No, that's
publish.
that's
Like
that's that's the that's the norm. Like people be like, yo, my book is 200 some pages.
yeah,
The word count is really how
word
you
count.
determine how long the book is, because when the book is formatted, like your book can be 200 pages on your computer, but once it's
Yeah,
formatted and those margins are set, it changes the dynamic. It changes
yeah,
the number of pages. So the word count is always how you figure out how big the book is going to be.
right, right. So I see somebody said, yeah, hip hop has become a major part of Black and Latino cinema. So how do you think that?
Yeah,
How
yeah, because it's like
that?
I
I
said,
mean,
it's
yeah,
it's all influence. It all bleeds over. You know, hip
right,
hop was inspired by a certain genre of music, and it didn't inspire the book, so it all bleeds over. And me personally,
right,
and I was just telling somebody in my reader group, when I start a
yeah,
book, I have to have a strong song to get me going and a strong song to bring it home when I get to the
yeah,
end. So the music is definitely important. Like writing is my muse. Like I have albums that I was really like I think what book was it? I think I was writing Road Dogs when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. Was it Road Dogs?
okay,
So that might have been like, just to give you an example. So it's like it
yeah,
depends on what puts you in the mood. But like I could be listening to hip hop one day and blues the next and funk the next, and you might catch me bumping Metallica and I
yeah.
have very eclectic taste in music.
All right, so now since we're on music, I'm gonna just throw it out there. Who's your top five, dead or alive? Top five
Oh,
rappers.
as far as lyrical content or impact or the
Lyrical content. We ain't even gonna talk
oh
about
man,
impact. Yeah,
you got to go with Hove, Biggie,
yeah,
definitely up there. Nas, of course.
yeah. I was gonna say
Um,
Nas.
Scarface is definitely underrated.
Yeah,
Scarface is underrated.
can't forget about Jada too. Kiss,
Jada, hell yeah, Jada, like yo. Let me tell you something.
Kiss.
Certain cats that I feel like the world is not going to realize their greatness until 20 years from now.
Yeah, Pop.
That's Ghostface, Raekwon, and Jadakiss.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's going to take people a long time to really care. Like in the hood, we know. Like you might not see them at the Grammys and
yeah.
all that, but their music is powerful. Their music is so influential to us out here
Rakim.
in the trenches. Right? Oh, of course, Rakim. God,
Yeah,
Rakim. Yeah, hell yeah. Big Daddy
yeah,
Kane.
yeah,
So
yeah.
those is MC KRS One. You know.
And I just think it's just an era. Like it's just so many different eras. Like we got J
Yeah,
Cole era. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah.
just keep
But I feel like
Ghostface.
I feel like the '90s to the early 2000s, that was the best era in music in hip hop.
Yeah, yeah. It was real. It was real.
That was a fucking golden era.
Yeah,
And there's been
for
good
real.
there's been good content since then. But that era right
Yeah,
there, you got to think about it. You had All Pound, you had the dudes from Death Row, you had Wu Tang, and it was just hitting. You had so
Wu
many good
Tang.
like
Yeah,
acts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Biggie and them.
Biggie, yeah, Nas,
Then
AZ,
Mobb Deep. You had
Mobb
Mobb Deep
Deep,
coming.
yeah, Mobb Deep, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can't forget CNN.
Oh
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
that
CNN. Yeah.
that era was crazy, and it helped to shape us as a generation. The
That's
music,
true.
and
That's true.
in a sense, the music raised us. How many dudes with Method Man came up with the Bring the Pain? Everybody in my high school was running around with dirty toothbrushes in their mouths. It was
Yeah,
influential. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now you got one side of
yeah.
your hair is braided, like it was the grunge. It was just like with rock, like how Nirvana inspired that whole grunge era. It was the same thing
Right.
with Wu Tang. Wu Tang was like our Nirvana.
Yeah, that's true. But I like the fact how Wu Tang just brought everybody on. Everybody got on.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It was all
everybody.
of them,
And that was the best. And
and that
that
and
was the
that
best
and
part.
that was like worldwide.
And that was
Like
the and see and for all the things, the negative things that people say about Wu Tang, that was the jewel that everybody missed. Everybody had an
right,
opportunity to shine. It wasn't about like,
That's
this is
true.
like once we could crack the door open, we all go in it.
Right. But yeah, I don't really see that anymore. I used to see it in
Nah,
the South a little bit, but that kind of fell off too.
you know why?
Like,
It's the same thing with books. How we used to all try to help each other out. One hand wash the other, two hands wash the face. One book sell the other. People are insecure in their position,
uh-huh.
and that's something that I've never suffered from. That's why I don't mind. Like I talk to new writers, I talk to established writers, and I give them information because what you do
Yeah.
is not going to affect me. If you go on to surpass me and do better than me, that's a good thing. We
Yeah.
want you to. I want you to be better, and then there's going to be someone that comes along that's better than you, and so on and so forth. And this is how we evolve.
Right. That's true. That's true. I saw something today I was reading, and I don't know if it was Damon John, the FUBU guy, and he was just like, I
Mm.
love to see people succeed. It's like I
Yeah,
love to encourage people to succeed. I
yeah,
used to have this thing that, like, when All Access was out, 2 years later, Smack came. Smack was from Queens, and it's like,
hmm
it's to me, it was pushing the culture forward. Like, it's
right,
creating a
right.
demand. You're gonna get this,
Yeah,
you're gonna get this,
yeah. It
and
creates a
it's
demand
all
across
good.
the
We all
board,
from the same hood. We all gonna make it.
and and then the people that are that may have just discovered it through Smack, they're gonna go
Yeah,
backtrack and discover All Access, and that's how it works. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And then it was just a little different niche, and that's all it was. It
Yeah,
was more commercial. They was more street, and it was just like it is what it is.
right, right. Everybody got a niche.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that is cool, man. I would like to see another book from you and Eric Gray.
Um,
At,
I keep I
one
keep
win is
telling Eric,
all win.
man. I keep telling Eric, get back in the game. Get
No,
back in the
Eric,
game.
he in the game.
Yeah,
He doing some things. He on here right now too.
yeah.
But
I
he
saw him.
doing some things, man.
Yeah, that's good, man. Like especially people that I came up with. I love to
Right,
see
right.
them especially. Now I applaud everybody when they win, but it feels
Yeah,
especially good when people that you came up with and you know the work they put in. When people that put in
yeah,
that pain and they get
yeah.
opportunities, it fills me. Fills me with joy.
Right, right. So what's next for you?
Animal 5,
Okay,
the Reluctant King, the Diamond Princess.
okay.
I got a couple of joints. Like I've been in the house. I was telling my homeboy, I just changed my clothes
Yeah.
for the first time in 2 weeks. I've been
Oh,
in.
you are to the real grind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the real grind. Like I'm just in here like because like if I don't write, I don't eat. And I don't write. In 2020 was such a turbulent year. 2000,
yeah,
into 2019 and 20, it was kind of hard to focus in. Because when there's so much going because we're influenced by the things that have happened in the world. And as writers,
yeah,
we have to be in a certain headspace, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. We have to be in a certain. And with so much going on, it was just really hard for me to concentrate. But when I snapped out of it, I came for blood.
yeah. Yeah, that's what Eric tells me all the time. Is like, it's hard to get in that space, that
Yeah,
creative space
yeah,
when but I mean, it's a talent, and man, you've been leading in this industry,
yeah,
man.
man.
You've been
Listen,
doing it.
through the grace of God, man. I'm blessed to be here. Like, cause I look around, and there are a lot of people who
Yeah,
came before me and during me that are no longer here. And I'm not only still here, but I'm
right,
still
right.
relevant. People are still checking for me.
Right. I was at funny that you said that. I'm in South Carolina, right?
Hmm
Um, it's a red state, but that's neither here or there. But
hmm
I go into Barnes and Nobles, and I'm gonna tell you how things happen full circle. I went into Barnes and Nobles, and I asked her, "Do you have the urban fiction section?" She's like, "No, we don't even have that section."
Not
So
anymore. But go
I
ahead.
just
Yeah.
was, yeah. She was like, "No, we don't even have that section." So I was like, so I just started looking around Barnes and Nobles. Then I came across your book, and I posted it on my page. And I don't know if I think I tagged you. It was like
hmm
maybe 6 months ago.
I gotta go back
Um,
and look.
yeah, and I tagged you, and I was like, "This is why I want to do whatever I can in my resources to shine light on our Black authors." Like,
Mm,
well, I don't think we get the props that we deserve. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. We do. I
for like
mean,
all of these movies and what these people are doing is from books like your books, Eric's books, everybody's
yeah,
books.
yeah. It is. And some people look at it like some motherfuckers is just flat out stealing storylines. But then there are other people who get
Yeah,
inspired, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to inspire different things. Like we were inspired by hip hop. Some of these films were inspired by the
right,
books.
true. But yeah, but then you got some of them grimy cats. and I don't know.
Yeah, they just
They
flat out, they shameless. They shameless. They have no
yeah,
honor. They're not honorable people.
right. They got to connect, and then it just take your product and put it out there.
Hmm.
So, what would be a next achievement for you that you'll be like, you know what, I hit that milestone. So you already got the essence.
Um,
Like
films,
what?
films. I'm film and television is where I'm
Okay.
trying to it's the next step. It's not the goal. It's the next step.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
next step. And the good thing is I write all my own scripts. So you got to pay me for that too.
Right. Right. There you go. That's a separate check.
Yeah, whole
Yeah.
separate check. Yeah. You want to option it? You want to option it? That's cool, but you got to pay me for the script too.
Right. Right. So like, so what? I guess producers or who would you want to work with? You know, in that
Um,
field.
it depends. Like, so I would definitely like to one day work with Lena Waithe or Ava DuVernay. Those are two women who really inspire me in the way that the things that they're doing to push the culture forward, especially with Lena Waithe, man. She's a woman. That's one strike. She's a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And she's
Yeah.
a gay black woman. So, just and she's still succeeding. She's overcoming.
Yeah.
She's overcoming.
Yeah.
So,
There was I don't know if you know the person, but the Hate You Give.
yeah,
If you know that
yeah,
person who put that together, if you
yeah.
ever run across that person, I've been trying to reach out to that. I think it was a lady author too.
Yeah, it was I forget her name. My daughters know her name. She read the book and we took them to see the movie. But when you get into that space, like it's like
Yeah.
catching lightning in a bottle. I'm trying to make sure this dude don't hit my mirror. Um,
Yeah.
it's like catching lightning in a bottle, and I celebrate those women for being able to,
Yeah.
because it's tough. Like out of
Yeah.
a thousand of us who try, maybe one of us will succeed.
But what do you think could change that though?
I think it is changing. I think that fact
Okay.
that people are going forward and they're doing more independent films and there are more platforms for independent films, it's leveling the playing field. See, and we don't necessarily need the big movie houses anymore. I mean, it's cool, and
Yeah.
everybody will want the blessing of that, but it's not that. Before it was like you couldn't do it without that.
Right.
Then Master P made about it, and that shit changed the playing field.
Right.
You
And
know what
then
I mean?
Dave Dash was paid in full.
Yeah,
And see,
paid
I
in
thought
full.
Dave Dash was going to change it because when paid in full, I'm like, all right. And I was like, and state property. And then I
Yeah,
was like, all right, that's where they going.
yeah, and it's crazy. All of us in the hood seen paid in 4 years before it was in the movies.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
had
yeah.
the tape, the bootleg. So when I think,
Yeah, Angie Thomas. That's what
yeah, I
the hate
saw,
you
yeah,
give, Angie.
yeah,
Somebody put it in the comments.
I
That's
saw it.
what's up. Yeah, but yeah, that's I think I think I think things are turning. I think it's starting people starting to be more aware. People starting
Absolutely.
to read more. People starting to watch what they put in their bodies.
Hmm.
Black owned businesses are starting
Yeah,
to blossom
yeah.
now. It's like everything's starting to change now, and it's like if 2020. Oh, matter of fact, that's what I wanted to ask you. What lesson has 2020 taught you?
Nothing is promised. Nothing is promised,
Mm,
and I say that because I took so many personal losses in 2020, losing
yeah,
loved ones, people dying left and right. I'm talking about around me to the point where that shit had me like paranoid. You know what I mean? Because like when
yeah,
people
yeah.
you grew up with, or just different things. So, and it taught me that take nothing for granted and nothing is promised.
That's true.
Live every fucking day like it's your last one on earth. Waste not a moment.
That's true. That's true. Somebody put Black Hollywood. Yeah, Black Hollywood is definitely on a come up. For
Oh
real,
yeah,
for
for
real.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, I've been seeing like a lot of like on my side. I've been seeing a lot of like businesses just black owned business just blossom this
Yeah.
year. Just like in the last 6 7 months.
Mm.
Like,
Because we
and
had
that's and
because
I support.
you know what? Because
I support.
we were all locked in the house and we had no choice but to get creative. We were locked in the house and
Right.
we had a lot of time to reflect on things. And
Right.
I think that was the only blessing that came with the pandemic, is it gave
Right.
people food for thought, and it made a
But
lot of us.
also,
Uh,
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
just made a lot of us change the way that we looked at the world, the way we looked at ourselves, the way we looked at our loved ones.
That's true. And it was one of the best times I like to be. I don't be on social media much, but when the pandemic hit, it was just beautiful to be on social media because
You
there was
know,
no pretending. Like people couldn't get their hair done. People couldn't pretend they was in an Aruba. It was
yeah,
like
there was no fronting.
all those pretenders was out the way, and it was
And
like,
you know what's so funny? I'm looking in the comments. My man JM, he put
yeah.
the hashtag Black Authors Matter. Do you see what my shirt says?
Oh snap! Yeah, Black authors matter.
Look at the, you see that energy. Look how the universe works. He ain't know I ain't seen JM. He know I had this shirt on, but it's the truth. Black authors do matter.
That's true. That's true, man. That's true. I'm telling you, like, man, everything coming full circle, man. And like I said, when I saw your book 6 months ago, I hit Eric up, and I posted on my page because I'm like, yo, this is what. Let's get back to having black authors on the bookshelves at Barnes and Nobles and everywhere.
We don't
And
need them no
Amazon's
more.
cool.
We don't need them no more.
Yeah,
You know why we don't need them no more? Because we now have black owned bookstores.
right.
So fuck Barnes and Nobles. Let's open up some more black owned bookstores. Because see
There you go.
now this is the trick. Before Barnes and Nobles and all that, we had stores like Caribou and Black and
Yeah,
Noel and the Shrine of the Black Madonna and Hood Book. So we was gonna serve regardless. But when Borders came into the picture, everybody jumped on the Borders bandwagon and we abandoned the black owned bookstores and they closed. And then with the digital
right.
stuff, with the Kindle and all that, that put the vendors out of business. So
Right.
so
And
we
see, yeah, I was
so
going to ask you about that. I was going
so
to ask you about that when Amazon and all that came
yeah,
about.
it definitely changed the dynamics. I mean, those of us who sell, but it definitely changed the dynamics. It changed the
Right.
dynamics of the
So
way
did
books.
they like, I don't know too much about the book game, like the business aspect of it, but
Mm-hmm,
like I went to this convention in Atlanta. It was some writers weekend or something.
mm-hmm.
But like they was talking about like how Kindle like want to get over on the new authors, like pay them $1 or something for their book or something. And it was just be like,
That's not
because
true.
we Amazon, we could do that.
That's not entirely true. It's a program, and you have the
Okay.
option to sell your book for $1. They don't make you sell your book for $1. It's the
Uh-huh.
program, the KDP Unlimited. You can buy the book for $1, or if you have a KDP subscription, the author gets paid not based on the amount of books sold, but the amount of pages swiped. So you
Okay.
get however many cents you get. Like if somebody swipes 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times, or however many times you get paid, I'm not sure the exact percentage or the cents, but you get paid like
Yeah.
a couple of cents per swipe. So it's not like they're not being forced to sell the books for $1. That's not accurate.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me ask you a question. What advice would you give a young author coming into the game right now?
Be true to who you are, not to a fad. A lot of people, they jump on bandwagons because they see it's working for what I'm doing. What works for me may not work for you. When I
Right.
came in the game, what worked for Vicky, Shannon, and Terry didn't necessarily work for me. So I just
Yeah.
stayed true to who I was, and that's why I thank God I'm still here today, because I've always been true to who I am. I don't
Right.
change because this is not popular anymore or this is not cool. Kawan is always gonna be Kawan.
Right.
Love me or hate me for it. It's not gonna change.
Right. Right. So it's I know we touched on that. I gotta talk real quick about tonight's sponsor. It's Miami Water Sea Moss. I gotta point that out. If y'all can see that beautiful packaging, if you need a local sea moss supplier, contact Mami Wata Sea Moss. This is a plant-based minerals supplement and contains exactly what your body needs to get up and function every day. If you want a natural immune booster, I encourage you to check out the website at mamiwataseamoss.com. And or you could call at 864-448-4749 and she'll ship it out. But let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sebi, or Staby, some call him Staby, CB.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about, all of that kind of stuff,
Not,
the
not,
holistic stuff and
not.
the
Yeah.
natural herbs?
I don't know a whole lot about it. I know when my aunt was diagnosed with cancer, we started
Mm-hmm.
looking into holistic treatments versus chemotherapy. So I'm not
Yeah.
super educated on it. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to freestyle. Like I know
Yeah,
what.
yeah, yeah. But I take it personally,
Yeah,
like I don't,
I got you. I'm listening to you.
no, I was saying I use it personally and
Uh huh.
I don't eat meat. I don't eat like no, I'm just basically almost vegetarian. I'm almost vegan.
Uh huh.
I'm vegetarian, and without the sea moss, man, I could feel it. I could feel like my joints like just rubbing together, and I was
Right.
like, man, it was like a whole lifestyle change once I stopped. Once I stopped eating meat
Uh
and
huh.
just did vegetables and sea moss every day, every morning.
Yeah, I gotta get on that. My man Hot from Black and Nobel. I asked him.
Yeah,
I asked him one day. I said, "Yo, Hot, what's up with the sea moss?" Like I said, when I don't know something, I ask. So I'm like,
yeah,
yo, sorry, I'm like, yo, Hot, what's up with the sea moss? And he laughed and he said, yo, all those years, I was trying to get you on sea moss, and all you wanted to put in your body was Hennessy. So,
yep, yep.
so
Nah, I'm telling you, I'm speaking from personal experience.
uh,
It's what's up, and I'll DM you the person's information, and if
yeah, please
she's
do.
the Miami water sea moss, she made
Uh-huh.
it's like natural. This stuff is like natural. It's like the real official stuff. So I'll definitely, if she put her information in the comments or something, I'll definitely keep you
Okay, yeah,
posted on that.
or DM it to me. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you
yeah.
tagged her in the thing, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, yeah, I did. But yeah, man. So I just want to pretty much close out and just say, man, I appreciate you. I want you to promote where everybody can find you. I mean, you're a living legend, man. Like I got to give you your
Man,
flowers while you're here. You're a legend,
thank you,
and
brother.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
be I'm gonna be calling you and DM you like, yo, I'm facing
Listen,
this
bro, I'm
obstacle
here.
because you already been there.
That's
You
what I'm
already
here
been
for,
where I'm
man.
trying to get to.
I give game to those who were willing to receive it. Some people, when you try to give some people game, they think you're being a know-it-all. Nah,
Right.
it's not. I'm being a know-it-all. I'm trying to help you to prevent you from making some of the mistakes that I did.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so early in the game, man, and I know I'm gonna have some run into some roadblocks for people like you, Eric on the team, and I mean we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, you gonna be all right, man. You're in good hands, man. Believe that. Trust and believe that.
Yeah, Eric is a good dude, and I can't wait to get him on here because we got an interesting story because both our names is Eric, and it's crazy. We both from
Oh
Queens
shit.
too. Yeah, I think he's from the
Yo, that's
Suffolk
crazy.
area, and I'm from the Ave. And we reconnected down here in South Carolina. So it's crazy. Yeah, we out here in
Man,
South
it
Carolina
was
now.
meant. It was meant to be, man. It was meant
Right,
to be.
right. Everything happens for a reason. I believe that.
That's a fact. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. But yo, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're busy,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'm out here
we'll definitely.
running around Harlem real quick. So a couple of things. But yo, I definitely
Yeah,
appreciate you
I
having me,
miss
man.
the city.
Man,
I know
I
you
miss
just
it.
got hit with a lot of snow and stuff, right?
This snow is ignorant. This snow is ignorant as well. Like it's kind of melting now. That good dirty New York snow. It's kind of
Yeah,
melting now. But we caught it. It was bad. We caught a lot of it, especially I live in New Jersey. I live in like the suburbs of New Jersey, and I came out to get my
yeah,
car.
yeah.
That shit was buried. I said fuck it and went back in the house and laid down.
Nah, man, don't tell me you get Hollywood like when I
Nah,
used to
hey,
live in Jersey
Hollywood.
City.
Nah, yeah, it's not that
But
I'm getting
Jersey City
Hollywood.
done changed a lot.
Something that I found is New York is not necessarily conducive to me being productive. There's too
That's
many
true.
there's too many I got you sis. There's too many things to distract me. You know.
Yeah, that's true. And then I have this saying, I made more money outside of New York when I moved to New
Yeah,
Jersey than I did in New
yeah,
York.
because yeah, that's a fact. That's
Yeah,
an
because when
absolute
you
fact.
in it, yeah, when you in it, it's like you can't see it from the outside.
Yeah, yeah, you can't see it from the
You
outside,
clear
but now
your
you
head
know,
and all of that.
in Jersey, I'm focused, and even now, I'm starting to feel like maybe Jersey ain't far enough. I mean, it's good.
Right.
I like being in New Jersey because whenever I feel like jumping into the city, it takes me about an hour to
Yeah.
get here or whatever, and I'm Gucci. But I ain't gotta,
Yeah.
I ain't gotta deal with this shit. I ain't gotta look for parking, all that.
Yeah. That we used to say that was the rappers bill right across Edgewater and all of them.
Yeah,
All of them,
yep.
yeah. Fat Joe got a house out there. Rule, everybody.
Live
Who
in
kid?
Edgewater.
Yeah,
Everybody live
yeah.
in Edgewater, and Fort Lee. I want to say.
Yeah, but now a lot of dudes is moving. A lot of New York cats is in Charlotte,
Yo,
North
you know
Carolina.
what? Yeah, I got a lot of my peoples, man, that migrated down there. And they love it. Like they've been down there for
Yeah,
years. No intentions on coming back.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you get more for your money,
Yeah,
and so now it's a lot of New York cats down there.
yeah. And Atlanta too. We got a lot of New York cats in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah,
A lot of New York cats in Atlanta. Yeah, so it's a great migration. It's getting too damn expensive to live
yeah,
up here.
yeah. But hey, man, Quan, man, I appreciate you for jumping on. Where
Well,
people
thank you,
could
man.
buy that book? I know Amazon,
Anywhere
your
books are
new
sold,
project.
Amazon. You can go into a bookstore. Anywhere they sell books, you can get some of mine.
I know that's right. I see your name everywhere. Every time I go somewhere, I see it.
And
So,
that's a
man,
blessing.
you're a legend, brother.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. Yo, man, I appreciate you having me. I'm about to bust a move.
All right, bro. We'll catch up later.
For sure, man. Thank you, man. Y'all have a good one.
Take care. Peace out, bro.